All right. I think after all the working out I do with this, it'd be stronger. So, project 2 for today is to fill in the gaps and level out the compound for this hole I had to cut in the ceiling, removing the old original, whatever the hell it was, range hood, I'm guessing. And I've gone back and forth on this quite a bit. Looked up a lot of videos, read a lot of literature on the subject, trying to figure out the best way to marry the old plaster and lath with the drywall and avoid cracks in the future. So to this point I put in 1/2 inch drywall, and you can see I put a little mesh in there and just use regular old drywall mud, joint compound, because it has the glue built in to stick to the drywall. So the original plan, after researching, was to use some plaster of Paris, just plaster, mix it in with a bunch of joint compound, and use some acrylic bonding agent and fortifier adhesive stuff, paint that stuff all over, and make the plaster stick, because the plaster doesn't have the glue in it. However, last minute I decided that was a little bit too much material for messing around, and hi dog, decided to go with just some straight up joint compound. I'm gonna level it out pretty well with this, and then I'll make a mixture of the plaster and the acrylic fortifier and bonding agent, just to make things smooth, so I can kind of get that same texture that's currently up on the ceiling. You can see it's kind of like an orange peel texture. So we're going to get started, mix this up, and fill. So this product comes in 20-minute, 45-minute, and 90-minute working times. I wanted this to harden pretty much as quickly as possible, so I got the 20-minute. I'm going to do it in small batches. I'm going to work quickly and get as much up there as I possibly can to a point where I'm happy with the depth, and then I'll set up the plaster, which also has a very short working time, for the finish coat. So let's get going on this. I think I'm going to run to the hardware store and get one of those little mini paddles. I got a big one, but it's too big for this job. Alright, now we're ready. Put it all the way down. Mix it all around. Let's see how we're doing. We're getting there. We're getting there. A little bit more water. So I'd say that's filled in pretty level. I'm going to let that set up. Then we're going to take some measurements and make sure we get this nice and even and square and level and true and all that fun stuff with the plaster joint compound mix. So it's been a few days. I got a lot closer than I thought I had. Evidently that front part just wasn't quite filled in enough, but the rest of it's pretty darn close. I took my level and as you can see, there's only about a, I don't know if you can see that, maybe a 3/8 inch gap there. And no gap back here. So I think it's time to start smoothing this out. And get it to a point where we can finish it off, sand it down, and call her done. that's sexy. So I feel like we're at a point where everything's relatively smooth, level, even, looks decent, corners don't look too bad. I'm going to let that set up and we'll come back with kind of a topping mix that I'm making up. We're going to see how it works, and we'll make that really nice and flat. One last thing. This thing, this little drill paddle, lifesaver. Lifesaver. My hand, I can grip, I can feel, I can give my wife lots of foot rubs later tonight. What were you thinking, pervert?